out like I'm Dolph, I'm moving keys with a Glock. Gotta keep the trap clean, I'm pushing peas with a mop. We don't do the debit cards, all my pockets filled with knots.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the Beard Bros podcast. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like and subscribe. It does help us grow. We are trying to grow. We haven't been getting very many views on our podcasts. So if someone could help us, share it, like it, subscribe, we really do appreciate it. We were talking off camera just now. And then we thought, well, what are we doing? We're just wasting content by talking off camera. So to give a little bit of reference, we're talking UFC, and we're talking about how right now Sean O'Malley's fighting Aljamain Sterling this weekend, and then Colby Covington's going to end up fighting Leon Edwards coming up, and then Strickland versus Adesanya in like a month or so, maybe a little longer. I think it's in October actually. And we're talking, what if they all became new champs? All these three guys came in and took over the championship world in UFC. And then we were talking about Henry Cejudo and Sterling fight, and then how kind of Sterling comes in before our walk-around weight's like 165, and then he cuts to 135, and he's big. So we were like talking about who basically... Just to give you a little bit of an idea, I'm rooting for Sean O'Malley this weekend.
Same. I got money on Sean O'Malley.
I don't necessarily dislike Sterling. I've never thought he was a real champ. But at the same time, I'm not against the fact that he's proven himself in the last, 5 fights.
Yeah, he's been doing work for the last couple of fights. 3, 4 fights.
I mean, he got the belt on a cheat. Yeah. But he defended that belt.
Beat the guy that
he got the belt from.
Easily, pretty much.
And then he went and fought Dillashaw.
Injured, but
nonetheless, that's not his fault that he went in there injured.
Still beat his ass.
Choked him out.
Yeah.
So then he fought Triple C, but then there's also the asterisk of, he didn't fight for 2 years. I think it was 2 or 3 years he's been out.
So this is I think his true test.
This is a true test, but before that, I have to give respect where respect's due. It's not his fault that all these things have happened.
And I've underestimated him every time. I always go for the other guy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Sterling. I don't like his antics. I don't like his demeanor. I don't like the way he acts. I just don't like the guy. It's just simple.
I don't hate him. I just dislike him.
Yeah, in the UFC world, probably personally, he's probably a cool fucking guy. But when he gets into the press conferences and shit, I'm just I can't stand it.
When he first won, he didn't want the belt. He threw it on the floor after he took an illegal knee. But then afterwards, after the fight, he's over there in the club acting like the champ. And I'm like, yo, bro,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're on some fluke stuff right there because you didn't really win. But he came back and defended. And then he's taking down the guys that they put ahead of him, and that's just how things happen sometimes.
Yeah, you just put the guys down that were in front of you. But then we started getting into the conversation of if he won this fight, which neither one of us want him to win. If he won the fight, he said he's going to move up and go to 145 and potentially try to go for the double champ.
Either the double champ or he's going to vacate the 135 and just try to fight at 145. They might give him an immediate championship fight.
He'll be deserving. If he wins, I think
if he wins. But the argument was, okay, he walks around about 165. That's the claim. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but we're going to pretend that that's the truth.
Yep.
165 cutting to 135, that's 30 pounds. It's a lot, but I guess it's not that much if he's doing
6 weeks or 10 weeks.
Yeah, and he's doing it every time. That's one thing I have to give him props for. He always makes weight.
Yeah, he'll be 134.5 or some shit.
Yeah.
He'll be something random. He won't even
but
be at
Volkanovski, if you know anything about him, previously to UFC fighting, which I think he came in around 2014, he was a rugby player. He walked around over 205. I think he walked around 215. He was a muscular, big dude. He slimmed down, and now, yet, he's still a big guy. His legs are thick. Like, he's just got that Australian thickness to him.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. And we were talking like, oh, well, he struggles with wrestlers, which Sterling's considered a wrestler, grappler, whatever you want to categorize him as. But I'm sitting here saying I don't care about that when Volk has not just fought wrestlers and grapplers, but he's proven himself against them. Like, he's literally not lost except to one guy that we right now consider probably one of the best, like right now, like maybe in his era, looking at all time. He's like Patrick Mahomes. We don't put Patrick Mahomes like the best of all time because, you know, you got Tom Brady just retiring, Joe Montana at one point. But you got like, you know, Khabib Nurmagomedov, you had St. Pierre, you had John Jones still in the league. But this guy, we're like, man, is there someone that could beat him? And who's that guy?
And we're speaking of Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, Islam Makhachev is probably considered one of the best in the league right now. In UFC, minus John Jones, because we're kind of looking at Jones is probably done in a couple fights.
And Jones is in a tier of his own.
That's
a whole nother
That's
tier.
Tom Brady.
That's the tier that...
Tom Brady has 7 ships. Patrick Mahomes has 2.
Yeah, he's gonna be considered the best fighter that's ever fought in the ever, so it don't matter. That's a different story.
Yeah, but then when you start talking like who's next, you could say like Anderson Silva, you could say Aldo, throw Connor in there. There's guys. And then you have like maybe an Adesanya, maybe like Stipe, DC. You start going down the list like, oh, well, there's this guy. Well, Islam is on that tier of like, he's not on those tiers yet, but he's like creeping on them right now.
But you gotta think this too. He don't have anybody in his division right now. His division's depleted.
That's what I think is scary because I think he could move up.
To 170?
170. Fighting Leon, Colby's,
I think he could
Usman's.
be one of those two.
I think he could be all of them.
Nah,
I just think he's good, bro.
He can't beat Hamza.
So we were talking about that too, was the fact that how often do you guys think, comment before I tell you, how many people have moved up in a weight class and won? As you comment, I'll tell you right now, I think there's only been 3 people. It's been Cormier, which, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cormier never defended his light heavyweight again once he moved up. He stuck with heavyweight. He fought Stipe like 3 times in a row. Yeah. So I don't think he ever ended up going back down and defending, but he was technically the double champ at one point. But there was 3 other people that got the belt, defended it, and continued to do so. That was Henry Cejudo.
Yep, Triple C.
That was Conor McGregor.
The Notorious.
And that was Amanda Nunes.
The Lioness.
They were the only ones that have. There's only been 4. But remind you, Adesanya went up and fought Blachowicz. We had Max Holloway. I think he fought Dustin Poirier, and it wasn't for the real belt. It was the interim belt. I think at this time Conor wasn't fighting or something was going on with the whole scenario. And then we've had other Volk went up, and I am a big fan of Volkanovski, and I was rooting for him, and he lost. I
was going for Volk too.
But I think. And I'm not saying that's all of the people that have ever went up and fought.
Yeah, that's probably fucking dozens of them.
Yes.
That's just as of recent that we could really put it together right now.
Yes. But I think Islam could be that guy. He's going up even more weight than most people do. They usually go 10 pounds.
Yeah.
But because of that dumb gap.
That's stupid. UFC needs a 160, 165 pound division, in my opinion.
Just 165, 175, cut the 170 out, make that division split in half. You might get 155s coming up to 165. You might get 185s coming down to 175s, and you're going to have 2 more division, an additional division, but who knows how stacked that division is going to be.
Yeah, that could be some crazy fuckers in there.
But anyways, back to the original point. Do you guys think that Sterling, if he wins, even let's say if he even loses, he's like, I'm done with this weight class. I've proven what I need to. Congratulations, Sean O'Malley. But I'm actually going to move up. I don't even ask for a rematch. Do you think he could beat Volk?
Me, I think there's a solid chance.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. I think he has like a 6, 7-ish.
See, but I don't feel
But Volk-
that's confident.
But Volk's pound for pound greatest fighter right now. He's the best. You can't say 8-9 against Volk. That's like saying that's Islam or that's guys that are proven.
No, I mean, I'm not here to disagree. I think, honestly, Sterling would have like a 1 or 2 out of 10. If I could go 0,
Nah.
I wouldn't. I would go 1 and 2.
Sterling is like top 5 pound for pound fighter. He's
But
a
that
good
doesn't
fighter.
mean anything.
He's a great fighter.
I'm not-
standing up. He's not bad. He's a great wrestler.
We'll see how long he stands up this weekend.
Oh, he's not standing up at all.
Okay, then
He's
you
not standing
can't.
up.
One thing
But he knows his game plan.
And you guys know, those that are loyal and that continue to watch, you always see me reference this guy because I just think he's the GOAT right now. Colin Cowherd, they came out and said, was it Colin Cowherd? No, actually, shout out Big Germ, Nate Sexton, and Paul Ulibarri. I am a big fan of you. You finally cussed on Jomez the other day for Idlewild. That was lit. I even commented on a YouTube video. I've never done that in my life. And so
He cut. What did he say?
he cussed because one of the baskets spit out one of the things.
He
It
called
was
it a
horrible.
bitch?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say fuck this shit.
Ah.
And he's that shit's a bitch or whatever he said. I don't remember exactly. They tried to bleep it out. And these fools, Nate Sexton and Germ, were dead silent. No one saying nothing, and they would just chuckle like every couple seconds. One of them would chuckle because they were blown by it. They were like, "This will just cuss." on
Yeah,
the
back
thing."
to the point. But TNT does it all the time. Basketball, Shaq and them all.
Yeah, they do cuss.
Yeah.
Not that, but what I was gonna get to was they were the actual commentators that I heard the other day on YouTube of all places that said there's not ever going to be one guy that's good at everything. Like they were talking about, and sorry if you don't get the reference, I'll dumb it down or I'll make a different reference, but nonetheless, they were saying like Macbeth might be the best like clutch player, but then you have
He might be the
like
best
Eagle
player.
probably has the biggest arm,
Yeah.
and then you have like Isaac Robinson's probably the best putter, and then you have Calvin Heimberg can throw the straightest shots ever, and all these different. You're never gonna have one guy that does the best of everything. They might be like top 10, top 5 in those areas, but they're not gonna be number one. In this instance, I think for Sterling, he's really good at grappling. Like, that's his go-to, take you down. I'm going to out-wrestle you, out-maneuver you, take you from angles. And Sean, he's like probably one of the best strikers in that division just because his
Probably the
length.
best, yeah.
He knows how to kind of move.
Name our Cheeto. Cheeto's pretty fucking
Cheeto's pretty good, but he's small.
good. Yeah, he's small, but
So
he's
it's-
still good. I give him
No,
that.
he's definitely good.
And Sandhagen. Don't forget that.
Sandhagen's nice, but it's like Volk is good at leg kicks.
Oh, yeah.
That fool's like goated at leg
Well,
kicks.
fuck, his shit's bigger than a
Yeah,
trunk.
but then you get like other people like John Jones. He's just like, I think he just is so smart. Like he don't get hit. Like he's
Never.
smart. Like he's just
Well, look
like,
at-
why am I gonna do this
Yeah.
when I could do this? Like
So-
he's gonna outclass you.
So you think Volks is just a better all-around fighter than Sterling?
I think so because he's gonna be big, and I know you're gonna say, well, Sterling's gonna get big. He's gonna get bigger easier because he's not cutting as much weight. True, but so is Volk. Like you're okay. This was something that got brought up earlier. He's saying that Sterling's gonna look a lot bigger than Sean O'Malley this weekend.
Oh, I think so, dude. I think, like, even during his fights, he looks bigger than fucking fighters. You know? Like, not...
Because he's a bigger 135.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley's a taller 135.
But that plays a role. Like when you're tall, you're kind of already kind of big. Like you're not just skinny tall.
Not that full. He's like Kevin Durant skinny.
But Durant's still big.
But
Like
he's
you're not
like,
pushing Durant around.
But you're not like fucking Sterling. He's that solid.
Like when I see
35.
Durant versus Anthony Davis is bigger than Durant. But he's not that much bigger than Durant.
Oh, he's big as fuck.
No, yeah, they both are very big people. But like if you go to Shaq and you go to Dwight Howard, Shaq is clearly bigger than Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard is still very big.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big difference. We've talked about this where it's like Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. They're both really good, but there's a big drop-off there.
But you don't think he could? You don't think he could beat Volk? I think he could beat. I think he has a possible chance to beat Volkanovski. Do you think he could beat the next best fighter in that 145 division? It's probably fucking.
Let me look it up.
Max Holloway. Max Holloway's been number one fucking contender.
That's probably true.
He's been number one contender for like 3 years.
I think he could beat Max Holloway because Max Holloway isn't going to get bigger. Max Holloway is like going to gain maybe 10 extra pounds, and that's it. He fights lean as it is.
And I think Sterling whips him too.
I don't think he whips him because Max is a dog. Like, that boy, he don't just go down. But I also think Max is on the decline. Like, he's on his back end. Let me look it up.
Okay, who's the guy that Volk just beat? Whipped his ass.
Yair Rodriguez.
You don't think he could beat?
No, I don't think he could beat Yair.
I fucking think.
I don't think so.
I think he beats Yair.
No.
Reason because I think Sterling is a better all-around fighter than Yair
That's
is.
what we think. Because he's fighting littler guys. That's why this weekend is important. Because if Sean beats Sterling, you think Sterling then can go beat him?
No, we're going off of the if he can.
If he beats Sean,
that's what I'm going
is basically you're saying if he wins, can he win?
Yeah, because
if he can't beat Sean, we're basically counting Volk's fight done.
You could never beat Volk if you can't beat a guy that's not Volk. Sean O'Malley is not Volkanovski.
No, he's far from it. I don't think Sean could beat Volk.
No.
I don't think anyone in lower division from 145 down could beat Volk. Nobody. Not a single person out of those divisions. You could put any one of them up against Volk and not one of them. Now, if you move him up and he fights like...
He could beat Poirier.
I think he could beat everybody.
Yeah,
I think he could still beat everyone except Islam Makhachev.
I think he could beat Makhachev.
It's just such a hard task because he's so good. He's so good in such a short amount of time. It wasn't like he got good over years. He's not like Charles Oliveira. Like, Charles is like, he was good, and then he became kind of average, and now he's the kind of like, not the GOAT, but he's like...
He's making a name again for himself.
He's definitely putting himself in that conversation of...
Maybe a C-tier, like, fighter out then, like a BJ Penn or something.
Yeah. People that you're like, respect them, like
Chuck
Liddell, Rampage.
Yeah, those guys.
People like that. Even like a Nagano.
Like, I don't want to fucking fight that guy. Nate Diaz.
Yeah, Nate Diaz. Those guys that are like, damn, that fool he wasn't the best, but damn, you got in the cage with them.
Diego Sanchez, another good guy.
Yeah, like, it's just...
He's not the best, but he'll fucking brawl your ass out.
Yeah, you're not going to leave there thinking... You had a good time.
Yeah, but I don't want him to win, but it'd be fun to watch another guy try to
take down another champ.
Yeah, Volk. You know what I mean? Because
that is fun.
Volk is a guy he's getting to his last leg where there's no one to fight anymore, bro. It's like he already knocked everybody off.
But isn't that where you might want to either do two things? Either move up completely for sure or just retire?
He's going to get to the point where he probably fights Makhachev again, and if he loses, he probably just like, I'm done. I can't win at
because if you can't beat the number one guy, then you're done.
Because I think everybody will agree. I think he could beat anybody in that division other than Makhachev.
I don't think he can.
He whipped Chandler's ass.
I think he beats everybody except Makhachev. I just think I'm so high on Makhachev after he beat Volk that I think he could even move up to 170 and maybe not dominate like he's dominated, but I don't think he's going to be an easy out.
I think he might be a little short for 170, though.
Maybe,
Leon's what, like 6 foot, 6'1"?
Let's see. No, I think Makhachev's pretty...
I think he's like a 5'9", 5'10", probably. Because Volk's not very... He's like 5'6", 5'7". He's a very fucking stocky 5'6", 5'7". Fucker's huge.
No, for sure. He's definitely huge. It's just... I don't know, man. It's so tough to decide whenever you have guys that have crossed over into other weight classes and it hasn't gone good. Like, you have more losses than you have wins. And when you talk about the wins, you're talking about all-time greats. You're not like Amanda Nunes is probably going to go out down as probably the greatest UFC women's fighter of all time.
Yeah, easily.
Like, you're going to put Ronda Rousey out there, but she put her out cold. Like,
And Ronda Rousey wasn't a great fighter.
she wasn't. She was a good martial artist.
Yeah, she was a very good grappler.
Yes, grappling, one of the best. But when it came down to actual, like, because I think of UFC now as more, it's a fight.
It's like a QB now. A quarterback needs to do everything: run, pass, accuracy. Like back in the day, you could just be that one guy, Mike Vick, fast. Cam Newton, big, fast. You know, didn't have very much of an arm. Now you got to have everything. Oh, in the UFC, I feel like it's the same. If you don't have your full fucking package, you can't defend a takedown from a wrestler, and you're just getting taken down. You're done. You can't win.
So you have Leon Usman, Kobe, Belal Muhammad, Hamzat Chimaev,
Hamzat's the fucking GOAT.
Gilbert Burns. I don't know, man. That freaking division is stacked, dog. Like, you have Kevin Holland at number 12.
Yeah, and he's a fucking dog.
You have Ian Gary at 13.
Ian Gary's my
Like,
boy. He signed with Better. You see that?
You're kind of stacked. But imagine, though, Islam goes to that division and does work. Like, you're starting to talk about him like, dang, this guy is, he's
How tall
good,
is he?
man.
He's-
Oh, I didn't even look. I forgot. I was looking at the rankings and stuff.
But that division is probably the most stacked right now. It used to be the 135ers where everybody was fucking sick.
Well, yeah, we were talking about that too off camera. Was the reason the bigger weight classes are becoming so much more liked? He's 5'10". Let me see. Leon Edwards height. 6'2". So
That's pretty-
about 4 inches.
Pretty big difference. Like Volk and him.
Almost a half a foot, maybe.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that's not bad. But he is going to be a shorter fighter in that division.
Yeah, but I mean, we've also seen that doesn't necessarily always matter either.
And that division don't have a wrestler.
Who?
That 170. Usman's not a wrestler. Leon's.
Usman's a wrestler. He wrestled
yeah,
for
yeah.
like
Oh,
Wisconsin.
Colby Covington's a wrestler. Never mind.
Kobe's USA.
Yeah, never mind. They're both fucking. They wrestle
Leon
together.
defends good takedowns. He fought Usman twice.
He's a brawler.
Burns is not.
Hamzat is.
Hamzat could do everything.
Hamzat's a fucking. I think he's
Belal Muhammad, he's more of a boxer.
that feels sick.
but-
I like Belal too.
Like,
that
you
division
got-
is stacked. Fuck.
You got Neil. He's fighting Gary this weekend.
Oh, Gary, I think is gonna dominate.
I don't know, man.
I've been
Neil's-
watching Gary since he was on the early prelims because of Conor. Shout out Conor McGregor. That's the only reason I knew of him, and I was like, I gotta watch this kid. And yeah, I've been watching him since, and I'm a big Ian Gary fan. He's from Ireland. He's a big fucking white boy. He's fucking sick. He's fucking stupid sick. I like that kid.
No,
12-0.
I don't know, man. Oh, what were we talking about though?
Islam moving up.
Yeah, but there was a point I was gonna make that we were talking about something off camera too. That
Oh what?
gosh, I don't remember now. There was something I was talking about before I started talking about the heights. Because Usman's 6 foot, Colby's 5'11", Hamzat's 6'2".
I'm just a big.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Those are the two biggest guys in the division,
And they're probably like,
and Islam's not far from it.
yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know. It's just so interesting because you get all these guys that are like,
Oh, you were saying about stacked division, why everybody likes the bigger
oh
guys.
yeah, because back in the day, the faster guys were cool to watch because they were fast. But they never had the knockout power. You never seen Demetrius Johnson and all these little guys knock each other out. It was very rare. You could get submissions, but even then, they were so fast. And then it became like Conor made 145 like elite. He was like knocking people out. One hand, left hand. It was just different. It was like, damn, this is best division in the UFC. And people love seeing heavyweights, but they never lasted long. You would get maybe a round.
Yeah, it's boring sometimes 'cause
Yeah, it
it's
was just like one round, and who wants to see that?
They last, and then you just get tired and gassed. And
Yes. But then now 155 came along, and you're like, okay, these guys are still kind of fast, but they're still strong enough to knock each other out. But now 170, I think, is taking over because you're getting fast and you're getting big. Like, you're starting to get the muscular but fast agility. Their boxing's flush. Their takedowns are nasty. Like, It's a different world.
170's stacked. All those dudes could possibly be champion.
Yes.
Other than probably Burns, I don't see.
But imagine, like we were talking, if UFC were to divide that division into two divisions, 65s and 75s, you probably have Gilbert come down to 65s.
Colby probably because he's shorter.
Colby might, but Usman, Leon,
Hamzat,
Chimaev,
yeah.
like these fools are probably going to move up.
185.
Ian Gary probably stays up.
Yeah, 185. You probably have some guys drop down. There's some guys.
Yeah, like Kelvin Gastelum might come back down.
Yeah.
You're gonna get You're gonna get a mix,
Yeah.
but you're gonna get someone like the best of the best.
Vittori probably goes to 175.
Maybe
And he's not a bad fighter. He's just up
he's
against
he's
guys
up
that
against
are
the best.
some of the fucking best fighters in the world.
That's what I'm saying is UFC. I don't know why they went with 170. I don't know if maybe a lot of people were comfortable at that weight, and maybe that's what's true. Like maybe these guys cutting 170 are like, I'm just good here. Like this is a good cut for me. I'm not pushing it, but I just think the jump from 55 to 70 is heavy, and from 70 to 85 is heavy. It's like people think 5 pounds ain't a lot. I want you guys to go weigh yourself and go cut 5 pounds in 6 weeks and see how easy it is. Don't starve yourself though either, because I want you to legitimately do it and keep that weight consistent for the 6 weeks.
Bro, that's just. I don't. That would be sick if there was a 135, 145, 155, 165, 175, and 185, and then 205.
Yeah, because that's just the way you would think that it would work.
Because anything between 185 and 205 wouldn't make sense.
Because, see, I think Belil would go down. Gilbert Burns
small.
would go down.
Yeah, he's small too.
Stephen Thompson would go like at 175. Jeff Neal might go down. Vicente Luque, I think he would go up. Neil Magny would probably go down. Kevin Holland would probably have to stay. Ian would stay. Michael Chiesa would have to stay. And then you have Adesanya's division. He's got Duplusi. He'd probably go.
He'd probably stay. He's a thick.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker, I think, would go down.
Oh, yeah, he's small, though.
Jared Cannonier would go down. Vittori probably go down.
Yeah.
Strickland would stay. Paulo Costa would stay. Brunson would stay.
Ooh, that's a...
Jack Hermanson would stay.
That's a toss.
Kelvin Gastelum would go down.
Yeah, he's too big, too small for that division.
There's just so many potentials.
Gastelum probably can even go to 165 if that was an
Well, he
option.
used to fight at 170, but he couldn't make weight. He kept missing weight, so he had to move up. He had missed like 4 fights in a row. And they were like, dude, you can't keep fucking these fighters up like this. Like, you're getting fights, but you're not making weight. And what are we supposed to do? So finally he jumped, which was one of the first fights he had was against Adesanya. That's when they went to the war.
That was a banger.
But imagine if they did 175. I bet you he could make weight.
Yeah,
And he's a badass fighter, so he'd make some damage in that. He'd do some damage in that division.
Yeah, because 5 pounds is a lot to go up. But imagine how more fucking powerful you'll be with 5 extra pounds behind you. 5 pounds doesn't seem like a lot. But pick up a 5 pound and fucking throw it with your fist. You're probably like, what the fuck? This thing, I can't throw it fast.
No, that's what I'm saying is I just think it's pretty cool to see champs versus champs. It just sucks because I would say at least 9 times out of 10, I'm going to pick the upper class champ. It's just so hard to pick the under guy because it's like you're gaining weight essentially.
It just depends who the champ is, really.
But who do you think that could come up that would have a chance to get someone?
Islam. Islam could beat Leon Edwards, I feel like.
Maybe, but we've seen Volk versus Islam, and we think highly of Volk. Like, I think majority of UFC fighters think Volk is probably one of the best ever.
Yeah.
And he fought who we didn't really know at the time. Like, yeah, we're watching, but you never really know until he gets tested. And when he got tested, I mean, he held up. He defended his championship. Like,
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's the best because you can't say Adesanya because he tried
and he lost. I mean, if Piero was still the champ, maybe he has a chance right now, but I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Maybe.
Because even then, we could have probably said Blachowicz won that fight. It wasn't like he won by knockout or something.
Yeah, so it's hard to say. 205, do I think anybody can go from heavyweight? Maybe Piera, maybe, but
To 205 or heavies?
I don't think.
I don't think so.
But I don't
You're
think he
fighting John
could, I don't
Jones.
think he could beat John Jones.
I don't think
he could beat
anyone
Cyril
in
Gahn.
no one can beat Jones. There's just
Yeah.
nobody.
So that's hard. 135. I honestly could see Sterling if he can win this weekend. Maybe.
I think the best shot for a champ beating a champ would be Volk fighting Islam again.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, who was I watching that they were like, oh well, I'm gonna get him this. It was like the Adesanya fight. Like you fought Piera 3 times or however many times, and you lost every time. Well, you're not a bad fighter. It's not like I've ever said you suck and you're not even like Sterling. I don't think he's that good of a fight. Like I'm not gonna downplay it no more, but I still have yet to see him really prove it.
Yeah.
Like Adesanya, you fought this dude 3 times and he's beat you or 4 times, whatever. You're bound to win one. Like you're bound to win. If you keep fighting the same guy, like if I keep playing someone one-on-one in basketball, I'm bound to he's probably just going to get bored of beating me, then I'm going to steal one.
Yeah. Do you think Volk could beat Charles Oliveira if Oliveira beats Islam? I think so.
It's tough, man. Because those 3 right now, I feel like are the best at that weight.
Yeah, easily because I don't like Dustin Poirier. He just got beat by Chandler. I don't like Chandler because he's inconsistent. I don't like the guy that's supposed to fight.
Gaethje.
Oh, Gaethje's the one that just won. Chandler, I don't know. I haven't seen him fight in like a
Conor,
year.
never
Connor's
seen him fight
fucking.
either.
He's not gonna fight anymore.
Yeah, like, it's just so hard, like, to say who's going to win and who's not because we're not watching it. But it's tough because I think Chandler is on that. He's on a different level. I mean, Charles Oliveira, he's just on a different level right now. I'm not saying Volk couldn't beat him because I think he could. But it's always a mystery because it's just.
He would call Islam out at that point. He would want to defend it against Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, because this is the way I see it. Like, if Sean wins this weekend and Sterling wants a rematch, you give it to him. You just don't deny him that.
Yeah, because that division's too open. I guess Marlon Vera or
Chito Vera?
Chito Vera, I think he has to wait that out.
Yeah, because if the best thing for him for his situation would be Sterling to win, either decide to move up, or if he defends it to fight Vera. Because if O'Malley wins, I would say Sterling's going to want a rematch immediate. So Vera's going to be put on the side. And so Vera just kind of has to cheer for Sterling. Like he has to, because 2 things could happen. He could either vacate the belt, so now you're fighting Sean O'Malley again, or fighting for the belt, the vacant belt, or he decides to defend it against you and you're going to get the fight because he already fought Sean. But if Sean wins, I don't think he's going to want to fight Vera because Sterling's going to step in and say, well, I've been the champ. I deserve a rematch, even if he gets knocked down in the first round. So Vera's in a very bad spot for a belt.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless O'Malley has some fucking weight and he keeps saying December he wants to fight Vera if he wins.
I'm just saying right now, Sterling doesn't think he's losing.
And
I think if he does lose, that mindset's going to change. Like, whether it's in December or another month later, he's going to be like, I want the immediate rematch.
As soon
like,
as
I
possible.
deserve it.
Especially if it's a war. They probably wait till January, February. So I hope O'Malley wins. That's fucking one of my favorite fighters.
I mean, I'm cheering for him. It's just so hard because when you've seen a guy continually put in work and continue to prove you wrong, how do you go against him?
That's true. And UFC's been stacked for since May. It's just been fucking stacked cards after stacked. At least the pay-per-view's been fucking headliners.
Yeah, I've kind of veered away from watching more free fight nights, I guess because they've become a little bit more whack.
Yeah, they're not putting big names. Like, that Vera fight should have been last week and had him as the headliner. So the two know, all right, if O'Malley wins, it's a rematch. If not, Sterling, you have this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, well, I think the reason they do it though that way too is because Vera is a potential like championship, and so is Pedro Munez. And so I would think that if for whatever reason one of them didn't make weight, they might push that fight. I don't know. Like decide between Pedro and Vera, like, hey, you're fighting this guy tomorrow now.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Pedro, you're getting paid out. Vera, you're fighting for the belt.
That's true.
Because you have to have that. You can't hope that, like, because no offense, but Sterling, you don't know if it's like Dylan Dennis right now. Like, if that fool doesn't show up, then what?
Damn.
Logan would be out of a fight.
If those two don't fucking fight, Sterling and
Sean?
I'll be pissed.
Well, they're a week out and they're making all these unbedded. They're talking a lot of shit, too.
They'll fake the weight. They'll fake the scale. They'll fake the scale to prove.
I don't think it's the weight. I think there's just stuff that happens.
Oh, you think he'll come up with an injury? If your pussy ass comes up with an injury,
Did you see all the stuff with Logan right now? How what's his name's been posting all kinds of pictures of his lady
every day there's a new one.
But yeah, and now Logan's trying to sue Dylan Dennis, a cease and assist warrant or arrest, because it's like
What is it, harassment?
yes, harassment.
Logan,
The
you're
cease
gay.
and assist thing, yeah, for real. He's trying to like sue him.
It's troll, bro. Let him troll. It's a
But it
fucking-
was funny because I guess, I don't know if it's real, but I think she got gangbanged at one point.
Oh, I know she used to be with Leonardo DiCaprio.
And then there was one where she's with Ja Rule, and he's like, damn, Ja Rule got that too? And I'm like laughing. I'm Logan Paul fan, but I'm like, yo, dog, like, it's cool when you do it, but now someone's doing it to you, and you're all crying.
I think it's whack. Did you see speaking of the Jake Paul or Logan Paul, did you see what Mike Malak and Jeff Whittick came out and said on a podcast?
Nah.
That Impulsive might be done, that they might be taking a big break.
Why?
They didn't get into it. They just said it on bitch that's always with Jeff Whittick, the white bitch.
I don't know.
Cough or whatever.
Oh, Karina Koff?
Yeah, her podcast, they were like, we might be taking a break on Impulsive.
Yeah, I wonder if that was... Well, it might not be big. It might be because he's training.
I don't know.
That's the way I would...
He just said because of Logan, and that's all
Well,
he
yeah,
said.
he's going to be training for boxing.
So I don't know.
If I were Logan, yeah, I'm putting everything on the back burner, especially after the fact that his brother came out on his own podcast and said, you're not even a real boxer, fool. Like, you were trying to steal the Nate Diaz fight from me. Now you're trying to steal other fights from me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if that were to happen, like, if we were to have some shit like that, I would, like, and I had a boxing match coming on, I'd be like, yo, bro, like, this is on hold. Like, I'm not doing it. I need to go get in the lab and make sure I'm ready to beat Dylan Dennis' ass. Because at that point, I would believe that I could beat Dylan Dennis, but would I be, like, content with just, like, beating him 8 rounds or whatever they go? No, I want to knock the shit out of him in, like, round 1.
And then Woodley said he'll be available if Dylan Dennis backs out.
I don't think Logan takes that fight.
Hell no, he don't. Dog.
I just
Woodley's
think,
a fucking animal, dog.
Am I here to disagree with Logan or with Jake that Logan's not a boxer? No, I'm not here to. I was just talking because okay, this is just a small little insight. I did. This is what I was going to tell you earlier, actually. So I found out today that volleyball tournament that I'm playing in is mud volleyball. I didn't know until today.
Glad
Everyone's
I
all, you didn't read it, it said mud volleyball. I'm like, no one said anything.
Glad I didn't fucking agree to that.
Yeah, so, but it's cool. You should come with because there's going to be like a bar and all kinds of stuff. It's like dope. Yeah, for sure. Like mad.
I'm about to be out there.
Like for sure. And so, anyways, so I found that out or whatever. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to wear a GoPro. Like, I'm going to win anyways.
You still can. It's
Well,
waterproof.
that's what I was going to say. And then they're like, you can't do that. I was like, what? Are they going to tell me I can't? And of course, they're like, well, yeah, that's what they could say or whatever. They're like young and just whatever.
They're not going to say anything.
No, I don't think so.
And if they do that,
and then
you
I
just
was
take
like,
it off.
well, then I was like, I'm a content creator, so I'm trying to record. And they're like, okay, Logan Paul. That's that fool that reminds me of Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Julian. Shout out, Julian.
Shout out, Garen.
he was like, "Oh, what are you, Logan Paul?" I was like, "Damn, fool, thanks. I take that as a compliment." No, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro,
I'll go out there
the
with the
Paul brothers are goated. They're one of the first to like get it done. And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Okay, calm down. I'm not talking about Casey Neistat and Roman Atwood and PewDiePie and all them. I'm talking about guys that were not on YouTube that blew up on YouTube faster than anybody." He's like, "Well, that was Jake Paul." That's the Paul brothers, bro. They're taking over boxing, taking over WWE. They took over YouTube. Logan's taking over podcast world. Like, what aren't they doing?
The only thing they're not doing is going to space. Other than that, that's it. Pretty much.
I am. Oh, that's where I was going with this. I'm so fond of the Paul brothers, but there is a line that you have to draw for everybody. Like with myself and with others. Like Logan is not a boxer. Like, could he be? Maybe. And I say maybe because he don't have like that killer that Jake has.
But I don't think Jake had it at the beginning, though. I think he developed it over fighting.
He had it.
Over
you
fighting.
don't find that. You either got it or you don't got it.
I don't know. I see Logan now in WWE, and I'm like, this fool has a fire in his ass that kind of like lights where. And I think he's athletic enough to be a boxer.
But see, you said it right there. He's athletic. There's a difference between being athletic and being a dog. Like, you have to have that killer. Jake had the killer. He just wasn't that athletic. He was a goofy Disney boy YouTuber.
So I could be Jake Paul?
Essentially, like,
that's fucking.
If you have,
I could be fucking Jake Paul.
Because you have to know, like, Jake, when I see him going into the ring, you can just, like, he might be doing his little antics and laughing, but you know, once he steps in there and his robe comes off and he's ready, like, it's just like, I'm looking at you because I plan on killing you. Like, I'm gonna kill you. But Logan, you see him, and it's almost like he takes takes stuff off his punch.
Yeah, he's like a big cuddly fuck, huh?
It's just like he doesn't want to hurt someone. Like, he knows he could. Like, if he really needed to. Like, if it was life or death.
I should show you that video where he full choked that dude out with a fucking Superman dove, grabbed him in the air that time, fucking broke the table and shit.
But that's what I'm saying is Logan could be. But I don't think he's got that. Like, because he knows it's a sport. And his sports are more like team friendly. Like, you're not really trying to kill someone. You're just trying to win the game.
Yeah.
This is where you're almost in the sense you want to kill them. Like, you're almost allowed to kill them.
That's true.
And he don't have that killer.
I think he proves it with the Danish fight.
But is that proving it? Because Dennis is not the guy.
But
I would rather him bitch out and Tyron Woodley step in and him fight him and see if he's got it then.
But, like, Jake didn't go to Tyron Woodley right away. He had to fight some fucks before he was a dog. Before he was an animal
Logan
like
fought
that.
Mayweather.
He did well. He didn't do great.
Yeah, he did well. But I think that was that moment where he was like, I'm fighting the best boxer of all time. Like, that was a different thing.
I think he knocks Dylan Danish out. And then I think
I think it goes all the way.
Hell no.
He just ain't got it in him.
Prove
me wrong, Logan. I'm more of a Logan fan than I am a Jake fan, but I'm a fan. Like, when it comes to being a fan, I'm a fan of both. Like, no one.
I fuck with both of them.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying one's like super better than the other.
I didn't fuck with Jake very early in his boxing career. I just wanted to. I was like everybody else, but he started proving me wrong, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
I was hyped.
I had to jump on it whenever somebody proves you wrong. You just like, all right.
That's how I am with Sterling. Like, right now, I'm rooting for Sean. But at the same time, am I doubting that Sterling could win this fight? No, I'm not doubting it. Not anymore. Before, I would be like, Dillshaw's going to whip this fool's ass. Henry Cejudo is coming out of 2 years retirement. He's going to whip this fool's ass.
That's what I kept saying about
Jake. But no, it just ain't happening.
So I go with Jake every time now.
Yeah, like, if you're not going for Jake, then what the hell are you doing?
You're just a hater.
Yeah, like, you're literally just hating on a guy. Yeah. And did y'all ever know that if you hate haters, that just makes you a hater?
I don't know why people that's funny. But I don't know why people hate him, though. It's not like he does anything out of the pocket. Like, just boxes and he makes it entertaining.
It's because he's not considered a real boxer in people's eyes.
I don't know why they're like.
But what makes you a real boxer? You have to grow up from a pampered boxing?
Like, a lot of these motherfuckers aren't real boxers, but they go to the bar and they end up getting in a street fight. Now they're a fucking street fighter. Now they're fucking Jose.
That's Roswell.
Are you like Jorge Masvidal now?
That's
or what? Are you
Roswell.
fucking Jorge or no?
Half of Roswell don't even know how to fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't knock a guy that came in the sport late in his life and now he's beating people up that's been fighting
Forever.
for like 10 plus, 20
And
plus
everyone's
years.
going to say, well, he's fighting MMA fighters in boxing. Okay. But in all fairness, is it wrong for him to do a few things here? And this is the list. One, he's still boxing, so he's getting the practice and the rounds, the feeling the energy, all of that. That's significant. If one day he successfully gets to fight with the inevitable Canelo, that's the ultimate goal, I think, is to fight Canelo for a belt. Mm-hmm. So getting those practice rounds and getting that feel for the fight world is important. Two, he's taking the only fight that's willing to fight him. Like, I'm not here to... Conor hasn't stepped up. I'm a big fan of Conor. Conor hasn't taken the fight.
Nah, he only's been talking about KSI.
Yeah, and then, like, you have other boxers, but, like, is it wrong for him to want to fight the guys that want to fight him that are actually going to bring the bag? Because he could go fight an actual 185er that's been boxing like a Tommy Fury. But... what brought more money, you think? Was it the Tommy Fury fight or was it the Nate Diaz fight?
Oh, Diaz.
Diaz, by far. Everyone's rooting for Diaz.
Yeah, because they know who the fuck Diaz is.
And who's been fighting more in boxing than the other? Tommy Fury. But that didn't bring the money.
But Jake could have went like the traditional route, fought the amateur route.
But that would take too long.
And then go fight pro and just fight these wannabes and be like all these other boxers that are... like Devin
padding their stats.
Devin
They're
Haney's
26-0.
Yeah, against motherfuckers that suck,
Yeah.
but they barely started fighting the good people like 2 years ago,
Yes.
And now
it's
Jake's been doing it for
It's like the Javante Davis versus Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
They didn't fight those kind of fighters all the way up until they fought each other.
Yeah, that's the best. That's their two best fights, and they're both almost at 30 fights apiece.
Yes.
Like each
And
fighter
Jake Paul is fighting guys
are
I
established.
think that are at least creditable.
Lethal.
Yes.
They're-
Like, is Nate Diaz ever had power that knocks people out? No. But you're also going in there with, like,
He has a
someone
steel
that
jaw.
could... Yeah, like, he didn't knock him out.
Couldn't.
He just couldn't, no matter what. Tyron Woodley, was he the best boxer? No, but we've seen him knock
Deadly.
motherfuckers out cold.
Yeah.
Like, cold.
Knockouts, not TKOs.
Yes.
Knockouts.
Knockouts. Yes, you could say Ben Askren wasn't a boxer. That's fair. I'll take that one. Tommy Fury, though, is a boxer. He didn't even get close to knocking Jake Paul out. Like, at all. And Jake, if anything, knocked him down.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Jake's more of a boxer than some of these boxers because he's going in there. Because I guarantee if Devin Haney was able to fight Tyron Woodley at the age that Jake, 3 years into his boxing career, well, obviously not 3 years because he'd probably be like a kid, but you know what I mean? Like
Early in his career, if he could fight a big guy, like if Conor were to come up right now and say, hey, I want to fight Devin Haney, I'd fight him. Yeah, he's taking that fight.
But early in his career, nah, hell no.
But if he could have done it early, he would have done it early too.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have been able to stick with the Tyron Woodley or...
No, exactly. And that's
Anderson
what I'm
Silva.
saying is people are hating on Jake because I think it's just a sense of jealousy. It's almost like, well, he's going in there, he's not done anything, and why is he getting such big fights, big bags? Well, man, if you follow Jake at all or done even a little bit of research, you would have seen this kid has done things different since the beginning. Him and his brother were on Vine. Nobody really remembers that. They hopped on YouTube. They weren't your traditional YouTubers like PewDiePie and Roman Atwood and these guys. They weren't even like your Fuzzies and your
Pranksters,
Vitaly. Yeah, like those dudes were doing pranks, but more like kind of borderline crossing the line, but not yet. These dudes were just doing it. They didn't care who they were offending, what they were doing. They just did what they wanted, filmed it, and put it out there. And they were daily vlogging. They've always done things different. And now Jake has established this like whole boxing, bringing up Serrano and like doing all these things different. And people are hating because I think he's just doing it faster than anyone else and better.
Yeah, faster and better. I think that's the problem. I think people like progression, like slow progression.
Yeah, small steps.
I think everybody's used to it, like a normal person's used to small steps. Like you get a job, wait a couple years, get a raise, become the manager type shit. This fool's literally came in, became the manager. That's basically
he's the CEO.
No experience.
He's the CEO.
Yeah, no experience.
He runs it.
Yeah, no experience.
They were like, boxing, Jake CEO.
Yeah, basically
That's
what
what
he did.
happened.
Basically, that's what pisses people off.
Yeah, it's like, well, how is he so successful? You know why he's so successful? Because he takes chances. He's not scared of what everyone else is going to... Like, he's cool with being the villain. Like, even in this Nate Diaz fight, it was so weird because Nate Diaz has always been kind of the villain. But this time around, it was like you couldn't make Nate Diaz the villain. Jake was the villain.
Yeah, America hated him.
Yes, and that's the thing is he takes chances that no one else is willing to take, and he's capitalizing on them. It's not like he's just taking them and he's taking L's. He's taking these chances and he's making W's out of them. He just wins.
Yup.
And then
the guys that he fought with on his very first card, how many of them are fighting MMA fighters? KSI?
None.
He hasn't fought an MMA.
He hasn't fought nobody. He literally has Logan Paul, and that's it.
Deji, I think he fought Mayweather on the exhibition.
Yeah, but that was doo-doo. Nobody tuned in for that.
And then Logan hasn't fought anybody since.
Jake is the best YouTuber boxer in the world.
Easily. I mean, maybe
like,
Bryce Hall.
Nope.
That motherfucker's out there.
I don't care.
Bare knuckling it.
Jake Paul will beat that fool's ass.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And he's smaller than Jake Paul anyways.
Yeah.
So,
He's a tiny
Jake
fucker.
Paul, credit to you, my dude. I'm a big fan. You're the best YouTube boxer until I get in there.
He's big. Yeah, big motherfucker.
He is big. He's like 6'1".
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
bigger.
he's like 6'1".
Maybe
No, I
bigger.
think he's 6'1". He walks around probably close to like 200.
15, 200 probably.
Nah, he's not over 200 too much. I think he's like right at like 200. He's a big guy though. He's a big ass dude. I wouldn't beat him.
No,
I wouldn't
no.
want to fight you.
He's too big.
I'm just cool with you. Like I want to kick it. I want to be those guys that were on your vlog, just jumping in the lake with you. Cause I don't know, man. You guys got something going on that I think just others can only wish that they could get going. Like they're just not gonna do it. There's too much. Like I was just thinking the other day, because have you ever seen those videos where they make coffee in hot sand? Like it's just hot sand, and they got this like ladle thing, and they rub it like that, and it just starts boiling. Well, it's Turkish, so they make this stuff in Turkey. And I told myself, I know for a fact one day I'm gonna have a cup of coffee in Turkey, made from that hot sand. That's a goal of mine. It's on my bucket list. Huh?
To go to Turkey?
Yes.
We can go to Reynosa. I'll show you a couple.
No. I ain't trying to be. I don't want to compromise goals.
I can show you a turkey in Reynosa.
No, like I don't. I think too many people do that. They take almost the easier path. Like I could probably go to Cali and get it done, right? Like, yeah,
Maybe.
easy. Someone's
I don't
probably
know,
for
maybe.
sure there. I'm sure someone's doing it. Someone from Turkey moved to Cali and's doing it there and capitalizing on that business.
Yeah, probably.
Because you go anywhere, there's people from other countries and around the world that are doing things from their country here, and they're making money off of it.
That's true.
So why do people compromise goals? Like, it's like, oh, I want to go to the mountains. Well, I'm going to Ruidoso. Well, why don't you go to, like, Salt Lake City? Like, remember those mountains?
Yeah,
like, that damn city was surrounded by mountains, boy.
That shit was crazy.
Like, I just think that you should never compromise goals. If there's a goal in mind, like, have you seen the new Mr. Beast video where
Did
they
you see
go
that shit
the
where
vacations?
where they went to like a $500,000 vacation.
Yes, but what was it that they did that I was like, oh, that museum or the amusement park, like the one where they get on, they're going in reverse. I'm like, dog, I want to go to Tokyo.
The only one I wanted to do was drive the go-karts in the city.
Like I
shit was
just want to go to
crazy.
Tokyo.
That shit was crazy.
Like I don't care what I do there. I'm just like, yo, bro, why are they so different from me? Oh, because they're taking chances that I'm not taking. I have elevated my game so much from moving here that I know I'm not going to get to another level. It's like, let's level up again. These videos, they're becoming easier. I just want to talk all day.
Yeah, I can just talk all day. So if you're in Las Cruces and want to fucking talk, come on, little bitches.
Yeah, even if you're not in Las Cruces, we could do a Zoom call. We can screen record and do all that.
If you're in fucking buttfuck nowhere in a damn submarine about to implode, you want to do a podcast, holla at me.
Yeah, because I don't know. I seen that Turkish coffee, and I was just like,
I never even
yo,
thought
dog,
about
like,
that.
it's not something crazy. It's not, because people are like, oh, I want to go to, like, the Egyptian pyramids. Like, no, that's cool. Like, by all means, that's on my list, too. But it just takes something so simple as in a cup of coffee that can drive you.
Yo.
It doesn't have to be so big all the time.
You know what's weird? Talking about that Mr. Beast video. Bro, I started getting sweaty hands in there on the very top of the fucking Eiffel Tower. My hands and my body started feeling like I was scared.
That was lit.
I was like, bro, I'm literally scared. I'm just watching this fucking... I
think
had
about
to
it.
get up off my bed because I was getting like dizzy and shit.
He said something so significant at that moment that so many people probably looked over it. I share this because I know so many people don't think like me. They just... It's not that they are incapable or whatever excuse it could be. It's just that I see the world differently. Mr. B said something when they were on the Eiffel Tower at that moment that stuck with me at that moment. And it was like, how many people have this kind of control? And he's like, turn the lights on. And it all started flickering. He's like, oh, you think that's cool? Turn the lights off. And boom. And then he said, what do you think the rest of the city's thinking right now? And I was just like,
and then he goes,
this YouTuber.
that's what
Go
he
ahead.
said. He's like, so how the fuck did this YouTuber get that fucking access to this,
Yes.
dog?
And I thought, you're 100% right. A YouTuber is controlling the Eiffel Tower.
Pretty much YouTubers control like the world. Low-key.
Almost. But in the sense of, if he could do it, why couldn't I do it? Why couldn't one of you watching do it? Because at the end of the day, anyone's capable of anything, but it's all about
Preparation.
It's all about what you're willing to do, because you can stop you or
Yeah.
you can make you go.
You could
It's like Jimmy V says, don't ever quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't ever quit.
Yeah.
That's what this has. Reminds you, we have a store. Link in the description. This blanket's for sale. That hat's for sale. I got some size 10 Red Wing boots. This new for Dawn Games for sale. Things you see on here are for sale. But it's just like that, dog. Anything you can put your mind to, you're capable of. You don't like your job? Find a new one. Make your own job. If you don't like the food that you're eating, make more money to eat better food. Like, you don't like the sizes that the way your pants fit, go work out. You don't like that, you don't know big words, read more. Like, there's things to do to gain abilities.
That's true, and also this is just a add-on. Negative thoughts become negative actions, and negative actions become negative results.
That's 100% true.
Because if you put your mindset like, I'm fucking fat, bro, I'm fucking ugly, I'm fucking this, this negative.
You're right. Feeding
You're
yourself.
feeding yourself, and you just become a slump, and you become depressed, and then you become just
Lazy,
you just
tired,
become somebody no one wants to be around.
Yeah,
low
because
key.
you're not going to want to be around somebody that's just unmotivated.
Yeah, you gotta put yourself in a good mindset from the beginning when you wake up. You gotta be like, oh, it's my day, and then make it your day. Don't just say it's gonna be your day.
I've always said that to a lot of people that could vouch for me, that I've told them, like, remember to slow down, because I've always used this analogy. Like, imagine you wake up and you're late for work. You're already late. Just slow down.
Yep.
Get ready. Go through your routine. Text your boss, hey, I'm running a little late. I'll be there when I get there. The moment you feel rushed, you start making mistakes because you're not thinking clearly. You're trying to hurry and compensate for the time that's already passed.
Yep.
So once you start doing that, you're running late. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna grab my keys and I'm jetting. You're jetting to work. What happens? Whoop whoop. You're pulled over. Now you're upset because you were hurrying to work. You're gonna be later than usual. Now you got to go to court and deal with the speeding ticket. Okay, that just ruined your day even more. Now you get to work, you're pissed off, grab your cup of coffee or whatever, you're sitting there, you're pissed, you do whatever, and you slap your coffee all over your lap. that kind of thing ends up trickling throughout your day.
Oh, then
Just
it could
boom,
be your week.
boom,
Then
boom.
it could be your fucking month.
A year, however long you let it last.
And you all know that motherfucker. Oh, 2023 is not my year.
Yes.
Why was it not your year? Because you made it not your year.
It's you that control your final destination. Like, we're all given an X amount of time. We don't know how much time there is. But one thing we do know is we have time to make things happen. Now, make things happen, like you said. If you're feeding yourself negative things and you're constantly in this negative motion of life, that's a bad place to be. And you have to be uplifting. Like yesterday, I seen a buddy at the gym. And he had just broke his fibula in an accident, and he's recovering or whatever. But he keeps going, like he's back in the gym and stuff. And I see him on occasions, like I hadn't seen him in a while, and he seen me yesterday. We were talking. He's like, "Oh, what are you hitting?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm hitting everything." He's like, "Oh, full body?" I said, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Why do you do that?" And I said, "Well, I like math, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, think about it. You do chest once a week. I do chest 3 or 4 times a week, however many times I get here. So you do it 52 times a year. I'm probably doing it 100 to 200 times a year." He's like, "Whoa, I never thought about it." I said, "But I want you to keep this in mind. Just what works for me doesn't mean it works for you, because what's working for you may not work for me either." He's like, "That's a good way of looking at it too." Because I see too many people on the internet saying, "Oh, you should intermittent fast. You should eat more calories. You should hit cardio before you work out with weights, or work out with weights and then hit cardio." You're not going to know what works for you till you start working out and knowing what works for you. Because whatever works for me couldn't work for you maybe, or maybe it works the same because we're brothers and our genetics are the same, but it won't work for one of our friends.
That's true, because you could, some people like a run and then just feel drained after running and not be able to work out.
Yeah, because I see people that they're like, "Oh, I never want you to do cardio before you lift weights because you're going to exhaust yourself." Well, what if that's how they warm up? What if that's how they get their joints ready to lift some weights? Or maybe someone like myself, I don't stretch, I don't run, I don't do any brisk walking before I go in there, and I warm up by lifting. I'll throw the bar on, and people probably look at me, "Oh, you can only lift the bar." Boy, I'm gonna lift your mama up. Like, I can throw weight up. I just warming up my arms, my shoulders, my chest, then I get going. I'm gonna put weight on here. So there's different regimens for people. But back to the fact that be kind to yourself. Am I saying self-love as in getting Botox? That's not my type of self-love. Nah, like getting a BBL or whatever. Like,
that's just crazy.
Like, no offense, that's cool if it works out for you.
No, all the offense, I will not fuck with that.
I'm not a fan of that. Like,
I'm not a big fan.
I'm not. If you can't be who you are, you already have issues with loving yourself.
Yeah, you already lost the battle.
Yeah, because you're thinking, "I'm this ugly, I need assistance, that I'm incapable of getting myself."
I think the same way.
I just think that everyone has beauty, and it may not be the beauty that your friend has, or this model on TV has, or that athlete that has a six-pack that I'm never probably going to have. But I guarantee you, I'm good looking to someone. Someone looks at me at the gym. Like, I'm not worried about what other people think, because as long as I can look in the mirror and tell myself every day, "Damn, boy, you worked hard, but tomorrow you better work harder." That's what I tell myself every day. I have a little sign that says "I will," and what does it say? Gosh.
I never seen the sign.
It's right there as soon as I walk out the door.
It's this little black and white one right here underneath the fucking...
I can see it. I can...
I know what it says, too.
I don't remember... Now, see? I can't even read.
I really can't read. This nigga's making jokes and shit.
I'm just saying, like, there's ways to be uplifted. And if you're not uplifted, there's things you ought to... I don't know why we got on this, but I guess it's because I like to talk. And maybe there's someone out there right now that needs to hear this. But if you're not feeling good about yourself, or you're worried about your mental health or physical health or spiritual health, whatever it is you're dealing with, you ought to reflect on your life. Like, and I know that could be complex. Maybe you're a mother of 2 or 3 kids, maybe 5 kids, I don't know. Or maybe you're not a mother at all. Maybe you have no kids and you're still struggling. Or maybe you're in a bad relationship, or you just got out of a bad relationship, or whatever the case may be. the thing is you got to reflect on a few things, like what choices have I made? Because I think self-accountability is very important. When you can't look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself when you were wrong or when you did something bad or when you hurt someone or you're not making the right choices, that's when it could be detrimental to your mental, your physical, and your spiritual health, because you're almost blinding yourself from taking responsibility for yourself. And that's the first thing, is taking accountability. And then you have to reflect on who is it you're surrounding yourself with, because those people could be negative impacts on your life too. Because if they're not trying to get you to grow in the direction that you're trying to grow in, like if you're trying to become a successful pediatrician, but you're hanging out with gangsters, well, that ain't going to work out, bro. Your gangster life will overtake your other life. And that pediatrician job you thought you had is probably going to be part-time or no time. Like, you're going to be working at Allsup's before you're going to become the head of that office. Yeah. Like, you got to really self-reflect on the decisions, even family. Family can sometimes be negative. If you're not around the right family members, that can hurt you too. Like, and think about it. It's not a bad thing to say, hey, this person's not for me. Like, it's okay. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's more of a reflection of who you are when you allow those things inside your life. It's like, if those people are a part of you, you're basically saying that's who you are. And so I guess it's just one of those things that are always on my mind. That's like, I just want us to be better. Like, I want our business to be good. I want our lives to be good. I want to take care of my parents one day. Like,
our business has been going good last couple days.
Popping. Like, but that's because we put in work, man. Like, we bust our balls. Like, we're going to work. We're coming off and getting to work. I
don't bust balls.
Like, we're over
bust my back, but not my balls. My balls are my chairs.
But look how much work we put in. We put in work every single day, and we're paying our dues. Like, we put in the work and we're getting paid out. Like, every single day we're getting paid out. And it's like, why? Because we're putting in work and we're treating ourselves well. Like, we're not dragging our feet. Are we perfect? No, we're not perfect, man. We're far from it. But one thing is for sure, you'll never see me or him slacking
or quit. I don't think we'll ever quit.
No, because look, we on this podcast we do good on our picking videos, but it's kind of I've probably even taken a step backwards from it, for the sense of I've always been doing this whole YouTube thing with him, and without him it's cool, but it sucks too, because I'm out there working, and that's all it is. It's not YouTube to me worthy. Now, we're finding cool stuff or whatever, but at the same time, I want to share those moments with him. Like, I come home and I'm like, I'm tired, and he's barely getting off work or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I got this, but it's just not the same feeling. So I'm like waiting to fill that void once he gets off. But if we can start doing this, with 19 views, we're still grinding at the podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not here for the views or the recognition or whatever. I just think we have a lot of stuff to talk about that other people aren't talking about, so why not it be us?
Yeah, because who the fuck would have been thinking about, you think Sterling could be Volkanovski? Like, who the fuck thinks of that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm very thankful for the positions we've been put in. There's been tough times. There's been really good times. But gosh, I don't know. And then, like, to boot, I just feel like this is the seasons. Like, this is the time. Like, August is already halfway through. We're already halfway. Today's the 15th.
Yeah, I know.
Like, the month is done practically, and football season's around the corner. I hope if you guys haven't, go check out our video from the other day for the football video. Make sure to comment and like that one if you didn't watch it already. But, man, there's just so much out there, man.
Too much.
There's literally, like,
every day is something new.
Seriously, I don't even know what else. I come across so many. Like, what did I come across today? I really wasn't on my phone today.
That rich motherfucking house that blew up.
Oh, I did see that. That was weird.
That shit was fucking weird.
That was weird, or that laser beam, but that was yesterday.
Yeah,
I seen the house like a couple days ago.
2 ago, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I seen all kinds of stupid shit, weird shit.
but like, there's just things. There's other things going on in the background that I just don't show. Like, for instance, we bought a bunch of cookie jars at the beginning of our whole
resale business.
our business, thinking they were gonna pop off. Now we can't even get rid of them, like for pennies on the dollar, pretty much. People want them for practically free, but I'm like, man, we did spend money on these. But yeah, nobody wanted them, so I posted them, and people been hitting me up. I probably have look, I have.
Ah, shit too. I'm done.
So, hey, you know what? Let's talk about this. Don't be this guy. I don't care if he sees this video or whatever. I won't say his name, but I want to give you kind of a rundown of what's going on, guys. So there's this guy. He's on. We post on Macari and on what did we post on? On eBay. Sorry, couldn't figure it out. So this guy hits me up like in July, and he tells me, "Hey, can I ask a big favor of you?" Don't know this guy. Never messaged me before this, and he's commenting on a backpack. It's I don't know. We won't go that far, but there's a backpack, whatever. And he's commenting on it. He says, "Hey, can I ask a big favor of you and get you to hold this for me till tomorrow evening? I love this bag and won't get paid till then, and I'm scared someone will beat me to it." Mind you, this bag had been up for, I don't know, let's just say for about a month. I'll just say about a month it had been up. So there was a chance that someone was going to come through it within one day and buy the bag. Maybe. I don't know.
Low possibility.
I said, no worries. I should be able to do that. Just send the offer when you get the chance. That's all I said. Plain and simple. I wasn't really going to hold it for him. There's not much I could do. I mean, if someone popped up and bought it,
I'm not going
to be mad that he missed out. Like, that's not my job to hold things. If I personally send you something or I post something on, like, Facebook or my Snap and you like it and you're like, hey, man, I want that. Yeah, if you're committing to sending me $5 for a down payment, I'm cool with doing that. But this was different. This is a stranger. So he hits me up the next morning and said, hey, would you confine an offer if 18? If so, I could buy it right now. I didn't make near what I was expecting since they took the day off of the heat because of the heat. Considered dang autocorrect. So he said would I consider $18, and I'm only asking $30. I said I'll do 25. Okay, so I kind of met him in the middle. He said, dang, I can't do that. Or I would like the shipping price is already higher than I was hoping for and has it a smidge over 30. If you take the 18 and that width will hit about, I don't even know how to say it, and that width will hit about 33, which that's barely leaves me $2, if that. And I was trying to avoid emptying it, but I lose out on getting it. I'll offer it all and could do 20 if you would accept that. And like I said, that leaves me completely broke. I really hope you will accept and can begin to can't begin to describe what it would mean to me, but please get back to me and let me know that way I'm not left wondering if I just haven't read it yet or if you have saw it and just not responding because I'm freaking out that someone else is going to beat me to get it. This is a backpack. $30 backpack that I already said I'll do 25. And I think shipping was like $5. I said, honestly, I just can't find myself to be able to send an offer after that message. You shouldn't go broke for a bag. I'm sorry. Hope things work out and God bless. Literally put that. He says, I'm only broke till payday, man. Laugh out loud. I'll survive till then. I have everything I need to survive, so don't think of it as I'm going into bankruptcy, LOL. I don't even message him back at this point. I'm like, so what is he doing? Like, what's the gimmick here? Continues, I just don't have no shopping money after I buy the bag. And I was only saying I like to leave a couple dollars in my card at all times, but I'm willing to drain it if I needed to so far. Real please don't disappear on me. I mean, the money will be spent somewhere, so why not a few bucks? And let the money that I spend at least go on the item I want the most. This was hard to read.
You just didn't respond again?
No, I responded. I said, all right, man, just send the offer over for the $20. But I know it won't let you go down so much. You can only go down so much.
A certain percentage.
Yes. He said, I just tried and it says my offer needed to be between $23 to $29. So if you send me the offer, I'm on here watching and I will accept. Any chance I could get you to send the offer? And I'm not responding anymore. He said, so just curious, but you said you would take the 20 and then stop responding. So what gives? I mean, really, that's pretty cruel. And I was really excited when you said that, like would have made my whole week excited to have shut it down just as quick as with no explanation or nothing. So what gives? I mean, like, why did you do that? So can I buy it or no? Yeah, you can buy it. It's still on there. You thought it was going to be gone.
In a day, it's been a month.
No, it's been like when he sends me this one. So just curious, but you said you would take the $20, blah, blah, blah. That's been a month almost. The bag's still on there. You haven't got paid $30 yet. So then I put, send an offer. And then this is when I finally responded, like the other day. I responded. He said, I can't because it says my offer needs to be blah, blah, blah. Between the offer, I'll watch for it. So would you please send an offer or change something so that I can make the offer? I'm sorry. If you can't afford the bag, I just don't feel comfortable selling it. Thank you, but have a good one. He put, then why tell me yes, but but twice, and why don't you feel comfortable selling if you don't mind me asking? Not once. Is it the money, man? Check it out. If you will still sell, let me get it for 25 like you first quoted me, but take it off the shipping of instead of the price of the bag. I could do it that way, and if you need to, you can shove it in a small box if it makes the shipping cheaper, but I have a 5 off of $30 coupon I can redeem my points for, and that plus the 5 off of shipping is the $10 off I was needing and gives you the full 30 and knocks the 5 you was willing to take off over on the shipping. So if you can manage to get it shipped for that price, you aren't even losing $5. I don't know what that means. Yeah. I don't even know if Macari does things like that. After that, I've been done. I told him the whole have a good one, and I was good. He just messaged me 30 minutes ago. This is why I was telling you guys, don't do this. Don't be this guy. Either buy it, or if you can't afford it, don't buy it. So I haven't even read this. So I'm barely reading it for the first time. So I really don't see why you couldn't respond. I mean, like, I tried to come up with a method that way I could afford it, and you wasn't losing no more than the 5 you originally said you could take off. And like I said, if you could get it to ship cheaper, putting it in a small box, you wouldn't have lost anything. And I mean, I didn't see what was wrong with doing it that way. And if you found a problem in it, you could have at least spoke on it instead of just ignoring me. Like, I'm still trying to figure that out, as well as you tell me you will take 20, but then won't, and you do this twice. And then after the last time of doing it, you won't even respond to any of my messages. Like, seriously, what did I do? Is he my boyfriend now? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, bro, just buy the fucking bag for $30. If you can't afford the $30,
buy it for 30 or let it go, bro. That's all I'm going to put. But yeah, don't be that guy, guys.
I get messages too. Sometimes I don't respond because they're weird. Like, there's some weird ass ones.
No, there's weird ones. Like, this one's is weird.
I would have stopped responding. Like,
at first I was like, okay, cool. Like, I understand. Sometimes you want something and the price just doesn't work. But this dude's like wanting me to give it to him for 20, talking about coupons that I don't even think exist. And yeah. I'm just like, yo, bro, whatever you got going on is not my problem.
That's always something.
And this is the thing, guys. Like, okay, we could talk on this. We didn't even get to talk about this. I don't even know if we'd mentioned that we were going to do the event. Did we ever talk about that on here? So, I don't know if you guys had heard. Probably not. Obviously, you don't live here. We barely even found out living here. But there's an event called First Friday. But to be more specific, it's called Fine Arts Flea Market. it's held on the first Friday of every month. I don't know if it goes through all year or it's just like specific month. They start in the spring and then start going till the end of the summer. But essentially you could buy a booth, and there's like over 100 spots for a booth for $40. Only catch is, and I'm not even sure it's true now that I'm thinking about it, you have to have your business license. Like, they didn't even ask us, so we could have probably got away without it. But nonetheless, we got one. Shout out to us. We haven't mentioned that. But anyways, so we did it. We were thinking, hey, we had a lot of people that we've gotten to meet over the course of the last year or so that resell that said, y'all would probably do really well out there. They're talking making thousands of dollars. Thousands. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's try it out. Why not? I go through hoops to get our stupid license. I had to get our license within a week, and it usually takes a little longer. But I managed to get it done, and we got it done. So we show up, we set up, whatever. Doesn't even go that well to begin with. Like, our canopy was broken.
This fool was trying to pass out on us.
I wasn't feeling good. I had donated and was feeling like crap. I thought I was going to die. But from that moment, we were out there from about 4:30 till about 9:30. So about 5 hours.
Hot as fuck.
Hot. Like 112, I think, that day or something.
It was fucking hot.
So we sit there. I think we sold maybe $20. I think we sold the plush for 10. We sold a few books for 5. And we sold that Pokemon ball for 5.
Oh, yeah, that crackhead.
That crackhead bought it for 5. He bought one of those, with the exception that this was an open one and didn't have the box. And
I like gold.
yeah, I don't know what he said. I couldn't even understand him. But either way, we made so we're under $20 for that event. More because of the license, which I guess you could discount it because that was kind of what we needed anyways. But still down, we didn't even make up the money that we spent to get the stupid booth.
No, we didn't.
But the point of me telling you this is, so that night we get home, we're pretty exhausted, I'd say, for the least. Like, I was pretty done. I was tired. I almost didn't even shower.
My stink, I didn't shower. I just fell asleep.
But I couldn't, bro. Like, I was dying from almost dying, and then it was just so hot. I was so sweaty. I had to shower. I took like a 5-minute quick shower because I didn't even want to be in the shower, let alone in my bed dirty. So anyway, so the point of me telling you this was like, oh, tell me this. How did you feel? Give me your reaction to that. Like, now that you've been through it, how do you feel about it?
It wasn't for us. It was for people. I think it was more for other people, like different genre of selling. I think more of clothes and knickknacks were what was going to sell there. I don't think what we had was necessarily what people wanted.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got too, because if you looked around, there was a lot of vendors that had one thing. Like our boy, shout out Sebastian, he has jerseys and like sports apparel, like shirts, jackets, jerseys. He had a little bit of like, I think Harley or something, but it was super specific. People next to us had a bunch of shoes they were reselling. But us, we had a little bit of everything. As you can see, look, we have hats, we have board games, we have biker boots, we have Pokemon, we have blankets. Like, we always have a little bit of everything. Like, there's not one specific thing we go out and look for all the time. And so we had a little bit of everything, and that was kind of the problem. Was I felt like we were a little bit more yard sell-ish than we were marketing one thing. And so my initial thought was, man, that was a bummer. Like, gosh, I didn't have expectations. And I did downplay it because I thought at worst we're probably going to make a few $100. Like at the very worst, we'll make our money and some. I thought for sure. Well, once we didn't, and I had already said, even if we don't make $1, like, it's just about gaining the experience. Well, we'll learn from it. Well, I had forgot that. Like, when I got home, I was kind of like, not bummed, but I was reflecting on my own time, just thinking like, man, what did we do wrong? What could we have done different? And like you said, it wasn't for us. That doesn't mean that it's not for someone else, and that doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're done doing our thing. So that morning, I wasn't going to go yard selling because this took place again on First Friday. So it was a Friday night we did it. Well, on Saturdays, I always go garage selling. I'm up at 6:30 latest. I'm trying to get out the door by no later than 7 to grab a coffee and hit the road and start hitting yard sales. Like, I'm trying to get on it. So that morning, I'm thinking like, man, like whatever, like I'm going to chill. I'm going to take pictures of everything we'd taken out there. And then I was like, you know what, man? No, I need to get out there and source. Like, just because we don't have 100 jerseys or whatever thing that we needed to have to go make money doesn't mean I'm supposed to stop.
Yeah.
So I got up that morning, and it was probably like already almost 7:30 I got up. Got ready, and I jetted. I went out there and started sourcing like I usually do every Saturday. And I ain't gonna lie, that was probably one of the best weekends of sourcing I had in a long time. Probably, if not one of the best times. I went and I found those Scullies and all that stuff. And one of the Scully vests had already sold for over $125. The video games, that Godzilla game sold for $60. And I bought a bunch of games that day. I bought like 30 games for like $20, I think. And I bought all those clothes for very cheap. And I bought that sword. And I bought a lot of stuff. And it wouldn't have happened if I just sat in bed that day. Like, I could have just sat there and not done anything and just said, nah, not today.
Yeah.
But it was one of those moments like, nah, we do something different. That wasn't for us because what we do isn't for them. Mm-hmm. That's why they do that and we do this. Yep. And we don't do that and they don't do this. Because there's an element to every business. Like, if you sell soap, you probably don't sell like shampoo. But someone sells shampoo, they don't sell soap. Like, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my take on it, was just like, sometimes you just have to put yourself in those awkward positions to feel what it feels like and get that experience. And when it doesn't go the way you thought it was or what everyone thought it would be, it doesn't mean that it was a failure. It just wasn't necessarily what we do.
Yep.
Because since then, we've been killing it. Our store's been
Popping.
cracked.
Yeah, it's fucking popping.
So, I don't know. I thought we would share that too, because again, like even with those situations, we're not always successful. Not everything we're doing is working. Like for instance, the cookie jars, those haven't worked.
Fuck those cookie jars.
They're hard to ship. They're fragile. They're not that expensive. They're just not what it is.
Yeah, they're cracked.
They're not cracked. Well, some of them are cracked. But nonetheless, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm just sharing life experiences now. I don't even know how long we've been going. Only an hour and a half.
That's not that long.
Yeah, I feel like we've done longer podcasts.
Yeah, probably like, yeah.
Well, when you think about it, we do very short podcasts.
Yeah, some motherfuckers do like
Joe Rogan does like 4 hours.
There's sometimes he's on like
Logan's is like over an hour too. Yeah. It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, they're supposed to do a long ass podcast.
But they also have like a group of them. There's like 4 to 5.
I know Jeff FM. That fool does like 45 to an hour. He does a smaller podcast.
Do they usually stick to like a topic or is it a guest?
It depends on if he has a guest.
So you don't always have a guest?
Sometimes it's just him and the Bathroom Boys.
How many of them are there?
There's usually 2 and then the random dude in the corner. I don't remember what he calls him,
but is he on camera? Or
so it's Jeff, main, obviously. Right. There's a camera in the bathroom with the Bathroom Boys. There's 2 dudes in the bathroom. I don't know if they're really in the bathroom, but they call them the Bathroom Boys, so I'm assuming they're in the fucking bathroom.
That's kind of dope.
And then there's one guy in the fucking corner. He sometimes appears and sometimes he don't.
But he's always there.
He's always there. And then Steve will come in from time to time, the white dude, the awkward white guy.
That's a lot of people, though.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he has a bunch of people.
Which
is cool, but then I feel like that's just too long.
That's why it's FF. Jeff FM. It's
yeah,
like the radio
because
station.
radio station. It's just like that's too long. Like when Pat McAfee does his podcast, if I'm not catching it live, I'm not going back and watching 4 hours.
No, hell no. But no, his is only like 45 to an hour.
And then like I'll watch clips. Like if it's like a 5-minute clip, I'll watch it. I'll watch Joe Rogan if I watch a clip and it was worthy. Like if I watch like who did he have on recently? That Brett dude. He has like 3 names, but he's like a politician or whatever. But he had him, and I watched one clip, and after that, I was like, oh, I gotta listen to this one. So I listened to it. It was like 2 hours long.
Fuck that.
But it was because the conversation grasped my attention. But if it's like Joe Rogan and Sean O'Malley, I'm not. I like Sean, but I don't really care what he's got to say.
Apple's podcast like an hour.
Yes. And that's the thing. If I want to hear Sean, I just go get on Sean's. Like, it's just so hard. It depends. That's why I guess
There's only a few podcasts.
short clips are nice.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of work because it's like I said, if I could watch a short 5-minute clip and that conversation gets me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to watch that.
There's only a few I like. Like, it has to be the person I like. If it's not somebody I like, I won't really fuck with and care.
Like, I even stopped watching Logan's.
Yeah,
like,
he hasn't had anybody on that I really liked.
Like, Nelk don't do it enough either.
Yeah, they don't have enough. And sometimes they get, like, boring, too, to watch.
Well, because it's just them. And so,
sometimes
like,
they get
when they
boring.
get guests, it's cool. Like, when they had Andrew
Sometimes.
Schultz, and it's like, yeah, that's entertaining. I want to see what happened. And then the builds up, like, when they're like, oh, we can't release this. And then they're like, oh, we're releasing it. Andrew Schultz comes on his podcast, says, release the video. Like,
Andrew Schultz is fun to watch because they're funny. Him and
well, yeah, anything funny is always
what's the
entertaining.
Indian guy that's usually with that fool? His last name starts with the S. His first name starts with the A.
Not Ollie.
It's like
Oscar.
Oscar.
I don't remember his
That
name.
fool's fucking hilarious.
No, they're funny, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to have to get off because I do have messages to attend to send. Look, that guy messaged me again. Fuck that guy. Gosh, man. And then I have a bunch of cookie jar messages that I have not responded to in over an hour. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. This was literally spur of the moment. Like, this is going to be raw, just cut beginning, cut end, and you guys are going to catch that because, I don't know, we were sitting there just talking about UFC, and all of a sudden we're like, you know what, let's film.
Yep.
So that might happen more than often now because why not? So, I don't know. What else? Nothing?
I ain't got shit else.
I know. It's already going to be 9 o'clock.
It's almost my bedtime.
All right, guys. Till next time with the Beard Bros. Peace.